my little geeks and freaks. As stated, I'm recording this all on the same day as I did with my last video and my weight loss video right after my surgery. So I'm still recovering, so I kind of sound a little shitty. I look a little shitty. Sue me. Welcome to my new book bowl review, where I will go through a massive bowl of books and hopefully not lose my sanity in the process. Today's review is on the fourth book of the Morally Grey Billionaires by Steele, and it's called The Rebound. So when the super hot upcoming actor, Declan, saves a younger Celine from being attacked, he changes her life forever. But one fearful moment leads to one big mistake that changes his life forever too. Celine never thinks she'll see him again until he returns to her life and offers her the chance to make her dreams come true. With his help and connections, he helps Celine see her potential and become a singer with a hit single. They are everything the press loves to talk about. But then he betrays her. She puts him behind her and gets a new boyfriend, but her career takes a nosedive. The only thing that makes her marginally feel better is knowing that Declan isn't doing much better either. With both of their futures at stake, Declan comes up with a plan. One movie together, a fake relationship to cater to their adoring fans, and their futures will be set back on track. But when their history and chemistry explodes, will they be able to survive it? That was the summary. I tweaked a little things, but that was the summary of the book. And one thing I will complain about is that the description is not completely accurate to what the book is about. I mean, it's pretty accurate, but there's some details that actually never happened in the book. But in order to not spoil that, in case you guys do decide to read the book, I will leave that part a secret and you guys can figure it out. Let's get into my review of this book. Once again, our lovely author does not convey the time period we are in relation to the rest of the series. We do start the book in the past compared to the rest of the series. Also, she has failed yet again to put trigger warnings into this book. I ranted about it in my last Morally Grey Billionaires video. I don't need to do it again, but it is still annoying. Celine definitely has a very sheltered upbringing, and I feel really bad for her and what she has endured, but she ends up putting herself in danger when Declan saves her from being attacked. One thing I never realized from Celine and Declan from the previous books where they were mentioned and a part of is that there is an age gap between them. It's not a huge age gap, but an age gap nonetheless. I never realized just how young she is. And although the age gap isn't huge, it also starts off kind of weird because he has attraction to her when she's 17.
Starts getting a little weird.
He ends up returning her home after she was attacked, and he does return to her to talk to her before he leaves. But when she fears her brother's wrath for catching them kissing, she blames Declan. Declan is then attacked by her brother and his men, which led to some serious injuries for Declan. And yes, at 17, he was kissing her, and he was having reactions to her that he probably should not have had.
It's getting more weird.
He claims responsibility for what happened because he should not have been in her room, but then he also says he wants revenge. Once again, I feel like this book is recycled from the last book. Both female main characters are mafia princesses who make a mistake. Both male characters are famous men who want revenge for being wronged by their mistake. And both of them make their mistake as teenagers. Luckily, though, Declan doesn't hold on to his vendetta as long. He does use it to protect himself, though. I know it's confusing to say that. It's all stupid. I mean, the series is stupid. We've acknowledged this by now. Regardless, it's not all that different from the last book, which is annoying because the Christmas one-night stand and the proposal were also similar in some aspects. And I just feel like she kind of just copies and pastes, and uses it for a couple books as a template and just switches up some things. Declan runs into her a year later after the incident, pretending to be engaged to her sister. He then offers to make her dreams of becoming a singer come true. He takes her to LA, sets her up in his home, and introduces her to the right people. As usual, everything is jumbled in this book and makes no sense. He isn't that much older than her, but then he refers to timing as if so many years had passed from when he last saw her, when only a year had passed. No indication of how much Declan has truly changed has been mentioned until it was right in my face. And while that wasn't the worst thing, it was just odd and unexpected. And I was indifferent to it. He also, in the beginning, says that Celine pretends to be innocent, and then moments later says that he knows she's innocent, which is, again, a contradiction. It's as if the author doesn't remember what she previously wrote. He is a lot more arrogant in this book than he has been in any other book I've seen him, and I hate his back and forth with Celine. And, They're kissing with their eyes open again.
Son of a bitch.
They mention Abby at Isla's wedding. When we were reading about Isla's wedding, I do not remember Abby even being in the series yet. I'm pretty sure she came into the series in the next book, so I was a little confused about that. I'm also annoyed that Declan admits his feelings for her, but then abandons her after taking her V card. And he abandons her without a word. He just leaves a gift for her and just leaves, which is annoying. It's a kind of a coward thing to do. They reunite. They do the dirty. He abandons her again. He's really playing with her emotions a lot. She's young. She loves him. You know, it's hard for her. Amidst him playing with her heart, she's having a hard time dealing with the fame from her hit single and having a boyfriend that she loves, but he doesn't give her attention like he should and is seemingly just using her. On top of that, their relationship is all over the press, which just adds strain to it. He's possessive, but yet abandons her with no contact for extended periods of time. I can't understand that. I really can't. Then Declan tricks her and breaks her heart because he's afraid she won't be able to handle his desires in the bedroom, which is just a weak excuse. Like, she's very clearly been interested in the things he has done to her, and he has done some pretty intense things. So it's just weak, honestly. Coward. He's a coward. Dumbass admits he loves her to his PR manager, but then acts like he just wants to be bed buddies so he can enjoy his lifestyle. Why can't these people just ever stick to one thought and just go with it? I can understand having a little inner turmoil, but this is ridiculous. As I stated, the book is just all over the place. It's just jumbled. And while they have a happily ever after, it is the one book that doesn't have a complete ending like the others, or at least in the sense of how the others have their ending. It's different. I mean, I'm glad in a way the ending wasn't the exact same as it was with the others, but it did leave me feeling a little confused because I wasn't expecting it. Which, okay, whatever. My favorite quote is from Celine's friend Myra, or Mira, I think it's Myra, saying, "People always assume I'm studious because I'm never without my Kindle. If they only took a peek inside the device." And I like this quote because that relates to me. I'm exactly the same way. I read a lot. People see that, but they just don't know what I read most of the time. I mean, I guess now people are knowing what I read, but, you know, it is something that nobody really looks into your Kindle to see, so it is a shock sometimes. My favorite character is Celine. I like her because she loves to read. She has these ambitions that she wants to do everything she can to achieve it without losing herself in the process. She doesn't want to change herself for anyone, not even for her fame. She's curious about life, about intimacy, about everything. She also has a lot of fire in her. She's feisty and she's not afraid to let Declan know when he's being an asshole, but she's also vulnerable and alone and is still able to show that she can be independent and proud and able to stand up for herself. My least favorite character is unfortunately Declan. I loved him in the last book, but of course, side characters are better. Once they become the main character, they are not liked for me, I guess, anymore, and then once they're the side character again, they're enjoyable. I don't know, it doesn't make sense. He could have just accepted that he loved her and enjoyed being with her, but instead he was stringing her along and hurting them both at the same time, and he just stayed in denial. He had such great words of wisdom for Kate in the last book, but then didn't really implement any of his wisdom in this relationship. He wasted so much precious time running from the one thing that made him happy. And there's definitely a huge moment that happens that is actually, it is a little emotional. And I'm surprised with how it turns out. Again, I don't want to spoil it. I'm glad it had a good result to it, but it was very interesting on the process it took to get there. Essentially, something happens to Celine and Declan finally realizes his emotions enough to get his head out of his ass. But it was a very weird process. I feel like this book was just exhausting. One thing I am pleasantly surprised about, I liked Kate a whole lot more in this book than when he was the main character of his own book. I told you, side characters in the series are always better. Overall, I don't have much to say about this book. I think I like it better than the other books so far, but that's not saying much. I'm still not crazy about this book. I wouldn't want to read it again. I think it could have been executed much better, and while I don't hate Declan, he's definitely not my favorite anymore. These characters seem to have more personality and likable characteristics in the other books than in their own books. Only 3 books left in this series, guys. I'm going to get there soon enough. Let me know if you read this book and what you thought of it, or if you want to read this book. I am curious to see your thoughts. Like the video, comment your thoughts, subscribe to show your support, and hit that notification bell to be informed every time I post a new video. I appreciate all of your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.